welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland. My name is Jason. I'll be your host for this podcast. As you know, Gimli is still not with us. He will be back soon. Now that they've finished the DVD release of The Hobbit, Bilbo and the boys will be handing him back, so we'll be glad about that. So, with me tonight, we have the Angel of Doom from God Manchester. He knows more about how to handle four wheels than Clarkson and Stig put together. It's Danny the GFP.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Oh, I had a bit of sideways action earlier. Oh, it's awful.
Sideways?
Yeah, someone left some water on the floor. I come out of the bedroom into the sitting room sideways. Oh, it's awesome.
Did you go over?
I was giving it power, giving it Clarkson. No. And my centre of gravity means it's physically impossible. I'm like a weeble, wobble.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down?
That's the one.
Nice. Oh, good to have you on board, mate.
Yes.
It's nice to see you.
It's nice to be seen.
Good man. Don't send those messages to Sean anymore.
No, I will not. No, if you want to find out what that was, I might put that as the Easter egg at the end of the podcast. But social services, don't bother. She's nearly an adult.
Jesus Christ. Please, don't. Okay, next. We have him back, fresh from his hosting debut masterclass, which is so good, Wisdom have added podcast hero to bootleg batsman under his name. It's Right Reverend Raj Patel. Hello, Raj.
Hello, Gimli. How are you? Sorry, Jason, you sound the same. Sorry.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, you cheeky git.
Oh, what a cracker.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, how are you, mate?
I'm glad you're smiling, mate.
Yeah. Looking forward to this one.
Last week was a massive success, mate. You got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, enjoyed it. It was, hit a chord with a lot of fans out there, and hopefully it will do some good in the future. And hopefully the fan groups have got some positivity out of it for once.
Oh, it was excellent, mate.
We had a lot of very good feedback.
Good. That was the most important thing.
I think every time, like when we first did the myths behind the BSM many podcasts ago, I think that turned a lot of people. And hopefully, I think I asked you then, did you get many people joining? You don't do it to get people joining, but I think you had said that quite a few did. And every time they come on, people do realise that you lot all want the best for the club.
Yeah, and the most important thing is that everyone's working together now, so as a joint approach. So long may it continue, and hopefully some good times ahead.
Superb. Right, with us next is a man currently bringing down the Russian economy and destroying the dreams of ladies on Tinder. It's our number junkie. It's Andrew Fife. Hello, Andrew.
Good evening, handsome. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not as good as you.
I found out yesterday that I'm 16.2% body fat, so I'm feeling masculine and I'm ready to go.
You're a fine figure of a man. You really are.
No.
He's a fat knacker.
I might put that on my Tinder profile.
Maybe
set it for a challenge.
I'd wait until you get down below 15%.
I'm at 99 if that helps. It's that last 1% I can't manage.
Sorry. But you good today, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, man. I'm very well. The markets have been very turbulent, but I'm still standing, so I'm ready to rock and roll.
Good man. It's good to have you on board. Okay, last but not least, we are thrilled to have back on the show. He's the hero of the proletariat. It's Arsene and Ivan's best mate. It's Gav from She-War.
There's no point fucking coming up with long words, mate. I can just about understand what the fuck you're saying as it is anyway. Do you know what I mean? Without these long words.
I think he's calling you common, mate.
No, the hero of the proletariat. I think that's
people, person.
Yeah.
Salt of the earth.
My lawyer will be speaking to your dustman very shortly.
Same bloke I heard.
My dustman doesn't work. You good, pal?
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks, you?
Yeah, epic, thanks. You know, we're winning. I'm happy. It's all good.
Right, chop.
Right, let's rock. Okay, first, Danny.
Nah, take your time. Come on, just relax. We've got all night.
We have had issues getting this podcast started tonight. So
thank you very much, Skype and MP3 recorder, you swines. Yeah.
So as usual, it's the bad boys are causing havoc. Okay, Danny. A roundup of the Arsenal scores, please.
I've had quite a few this week, so I should get through them as quick as possible. The Under-18s League, last Saturday the 11th, Bolton Under-18s 2, Arsenal Under-18s 1. The bloke with the longest name in football, Chata Zidrothridris.
Don't bother.
Yeah, scored our goal. Chat to his mates. We are now. Remember, we are in Division 2. We got relegated last season, I think. Oh, no, that's the under 21s. I've put, we are 6th out of 8 in the second phase of the group after finishing 11th out of 12 in the regular season. So you have the regular season, then it splits into Championship, Middle, and relegation. And we are bottom of the relegation one again. Absolute shit. The under 21s this time on Monday Telly's just come on. On Monday the 13th, I watched this game because it was live on Arsenal Player. What a waste of an hour and a half this was. Arsenal under 21s, 0, Reading 1. Diaby played 56 minutes. Jack played 88 minutes. Gnabry played the whole 90 minutes. And Diaby and Wilshere went off walking, so I don't think there's any injury problems. And Martin Keown's son, Niall, scored the only goal for Reading, which is... nice. We are now 4th, 10 points behind the leaders, Middlesbrough, and this is the one we're in Division 2. So we are fighting all the shit teams, and we are still doing shit, which is depressing. And from one depressing result onto another depressing result, the ladies lost 2-1 in the FA Cup quarter-final to Chelsea, because Chelsea have got all the monies, so that was never much of a surprise. But they did go on to beat Bristol Academy ladies 2-0 in the Women's Super League on this Wednesday just gone. Carla Humphrey and Vicky Losoda scored, and we are currently second after 2 games behind Chelsea. Right, that's the Arsenal ones out of the way. Just a quick one on the mighty Carolina Railhawks. Choo-woo, mother truckers. Our Jason's boys are currently top of the NASL with 4 points after beating Ottawa Fury 3-1 and a 1-1 draw away at Edmonton. And their next game is at home to the Atlanta Silverbacks. That sounds like a gay club. And finally, you ready for this, Jace? A bit of Pirates news. Last game of the season, and Chris has sent me a wonderful email. The Pirates played their final competitive fixture of the season last night, and happily we can report a winning finale. Who would have thought that? It's ending the season with a win. Just like the Arsenal. Oh, I don't know. Playing AFC Friary at Victoria Park in the evening sunshine, the Pirates started on the front, forcing the pace and took the lead on 27 minutes with Sam Brutti. Oh, he's a brute. Winning ball from midfield, laying the ball back. There's only a few lines. I know you're falling asleep. Laying the ball back to Nick Harrington, whose superb chest trap. There you go, never heard that before. And 25-yard looping volley flew into the back of the net, 1-0. Then on 39 minutes, leading scorer Callum Knight made it 2. Sam Brutti, again the provider, with a cross from the right, finding Knight at the back post with a diving header. I tell you, he's been playing too much FIFA. He's making it sound better than it probably was. Friary pulled one back in the 68th minutes, but the Pirates had to dig in to claim a 2-1 win, which they did superbly. A great end to the season for all, and they didn't get relegated, so Raj, get your wallet out. And he's put a couple of little bits at the end. He says, stay tuned for end-of-season friendly news. I think they're playing AC Milan, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Real Madrid and Arsenal, so that'll be a good lot of friendlies. And the end-of-season awards on the 8th of May. And he finally says, thanks to all the kind tweets over the season, and thanks to ABW for the continued support and sponsorship of our team. Pirates out.
He needs to cut those down, doesn't he? Let's not mess about. Right.
Cut what down?
Cut down those match reports, my God. They won. Congratulations. Well done.
Superb.
Excellent news. Okay, let's get on to more important stuff. Burnley. Andrew Fife. A 1-0 win.
Hello.
A 1-0 win at Turf Moor. What were your thoughts on the match, mate?
It was not a classic. I watched the game in the Gunners pub on Blackstock Road. There was quite a big turnout of people there. Actually, Lee Harper was there. Do you remember Lee Harper? He used to play golf for Arsenal. Yeah, he was in there, actually, funny enough. I would say, do you remember Guti, who used to play for Real Madrid?
Certainly do, midfielder. Yeah.
I'd say about Burnley, their performances of late showed that... So I remember Guti actually found out once that his girlfriend was actually a man, or that was the joke. And so not since a footballer has found out that his girlfriend was a man has a team tried so hard not to go down, or a team of footballers. Burnley, I mean, have been fantastic in their form in recent weeks. You know, they picked up points at home against Man U. We've seen them beat Man City, draw against Tottenham. And it's not, obviously they're second bottom in the league. It's not an easy place to go and win. And they certainly brought out, the best qualities in Arsenal from a defensive perspective. The defensive fortitude we saw in the team was brilliant. Players like Coquelin, who I thought was certainly our man of the match again. I think he made Coquelin on his own. made 11 interceptions, which is more than our entire back four put together. They made 9 between them. The game itself, I think Arsene Wenger described it as a performance which was fighting rather than fluence, which is good to see because, Arsenal obviously, historically in the last few years, our defensive capabilities have been questioned, our mental stability has been questioned, and that rock in the team, or that dynamic strength in the team when the chips are down, someone who's going to pull the game by the scruff of the neck like Coquelin will has been questioned. But we're starting to see now we have a settled team. It's our 16th win out of 18. Players like Coquelin have settled in. We've got a relatively settled back four now. Nacho Monreal was fantastic again. Bellerin, Koscielny, Mertesacker. We're seeing Ozil now. Ozil's come back into the game. He's, I think, as Tim mentioned last week, he's overcome a relationship issue lately. You can see he's a lot more confident now. He's driving the team, and I think Cazorla, it was his 100th Premiership game. It was Giroud's 100th game for Arsenal. So you can see that how the team's settling now. We're certainly starting to gel. And so we can play at home and you can beat teams like Liverpool with, attacking prowess, or we can go away to Turf Moor and we can put in, a defensive performance, which, I think, obviously, as we mentioned, it wasn't a classic game. It wasn't, one of the ones which is going to dominate the minutes section on the highlights video at the end of the season. But to go away to Burnley and get 3 points, I think, in the manner that we did was good. The way Ramsey took his goal was fantastic. I think, we saw earlier in the game we wasted an opportunity where Sanchez put one over the bar, and we thought, typical Arsenal, we're in the box and we're wasting chances again. So when obviously Ozil's shot was deflected and Ramsey put it in the back of the net, it was a huge sigh of relief for us. And to then go on to hold on to that victory the way we did was good to see. I think, we had more possession than them. We had more interceptions than them, more shots on goal than them. We won more duels in the air than them. So it was a good performance without being vintage. Happy to take the 3 points and move on to the next one.
Oh, brilliant. I like that. Yeah, well summed up. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, Gav.
Thank you.
You're a gem. Gav, Burnley have drawn at Turf Moor with the Spuds and United. They've beaten City there. They've also drawn recently with Chelsea at the Bridge. So a good 3 points and puts us on 8 wins on the bounce. What were your thoughts on the game, mate?
Well, there's not really a lot more to add, really. It weren't the greatest of games, was it? But we went there and we did what we had to do, come away with the 3 points. It was just one of those where it was just bitty. It was just weren't really flowing. It was just an odd game, really. But like I say, we held on. They didn't really offer a great deal. We could have offered a bit more, and that was it. 8 wins on the trot. It's not bad, is it?
It's not bad at all. And let's be honest, we were a million miles away from that at the beginning of the season. What did you think of Ozil with regards? He was getting back. He was putting in defensive effort. He seems to have bulked up, and he seems to be happy.
He does, like I say. I mean, you're right. I mean, he does seem like he's put on some sort of muscle strength, really. I mean, most players that come over to play over here for the first time, they, generally, you're not going to see the best of them for, to at least they've played a full season. It is a slightly different pace. It's slightly more physical than anywhere else, and it's maybe took him a while to adjust. But I've never ever had any worries whatsoever that Ozil is worth every penny we paid for him.
I agree. It's nice to see him shining at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Okay, Raj.
Yes.
Rambo getting back to scoring form and a clean sheet. Coquelin, as Andrew said, is superb again defensively. Were you happy with the defensive side of our game?
I thought the whole game was about our defensive side. I thought we were fantastic. Overall, I described the game to Mark King, our friend, as turgid, and it was one of those games you're not going to really watch the highlights of later on in the evening. It was true though. It's not a criticism of our performance. I thought our performance was good because for the first time in a while we scored a goal and defended it for the rest of the game. Whereas 6 weeks ago we had to score 2 against Palace just to win that game because we knew we'd concede one. But I thought it was excellent. I thought Coquelin was immense, and as Andrew said, Burnley had a lot of, a higher work rate than us. Every time they tried to break, Coquelin was there to kind of tidy up. He was fantastic. Ramsey, probably an equal player of the match in some ways. He was very good on the right. It was a decent performance. The most important thing was that we got 3 points and we move on to Chelsea, and I can't wait for that game.
Yeah, it's exciting times ahead, isn't it? Danny,
Yes.
we'll come to you for Ozil Watch.
Yes.
Go.
He was okay, right? I was ready for something else. Here we go. Pass accuracy 87%, 97 touches, 1 total shot. I should just say 1 shot, really, shouldn't it? 3 dribbles, 1 tackle, average rating of 7.6, which isn't too bad at all, considering we went there to play quite a defensive game. But I think the overall, how do you reset? I'm trying to get the page to do the bloody total team stats. There we go, backwards and forwards. 17 shots on goal, 5 on target, 6 off target, and 6 were blocked. We had an 83% pass completion success and 68% possession. That's quite amazing. And this isn't Soccerway, who usually just pull balls out of a bag and make the numbers up. But the one thing that I think people should realise is that Burnley's recent run of form at home in the Premier League beat Man City 1-0, drew 0-0 with that lot up the road, and then we go there, and because they're on a bit of a roll at the moment, they're getting points. They're only second from bottom of the Premier League. 1 win, and they could overtake QPR, Hull and Sunderland. And I think out of all the teams at the bottom of the league, I think Burnley is the one that I'd most like to see stay up. I like their manager. I like that they still try and play attractive football. And I like the fact they're a small club. And I don't want to see those likes of QPR who've bought their success staying up. And it'd be hilarious to see Sunderland go down.
You're a charmer, isn't it?
Yeah, I am.
No, I think you're right. I think Sean Dyche is quite highly thought of around the Premier League clubs, etc., and in the press corps. I know Henry Winter has said some really nice things about him and his training techniques. And they are a family club, aren't they? It would be nice to see him stay up.
Old-fashioned club. I was looking at the stadium and thinking that's a nice old-fashioned stadium. It reminded me a little bit of the old days at Highbury, where it was all, a bit dated, but it was dated in a classic way with like listed buildings and all that lot. Not that I think any of that's listed, but I was looking at the whole team and I thought, I don't think we went out and out to win that game. I think it was a cautious going there, because we've played a lot of games recently, and now we're only playing 1 game a week, and we've got a full team back, which was good to see. But I was talking to you before the pod, and we were both quite surprised that, I know you're going to mention it later, but Cazorla had a very quiet game.
Yeah, he seemed to be bullied out a bit, doesn't he? And whenever that's happened in the past, we've normally been on the end of hiding. But we'll come to that a bit later now. Okay, on to Andrew. So Andrew, yeah, it was a tough day at the office for the team, but as we've already said, 3 valuable points. I thought Pear and Cos looked really solid at the back. We've got Gabriel to add into that mix. What were your thoughts on the centre halves? Do you think you rely on Mertesacker and Koscielny going forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think for the rest of the season, not for what we've seen in recent weeks and recent months is, as the team's starting to settle now, we're starting to see the nucleus of players really take forth. So not just in midfield, but we need that familiarity. I think all teams thrive on familiarity. So where we have it now, we've seen before this season players like Nacho have settled down into defence. I think with that, I think at the start of the season we were quite shaky at the back, losing Sanya, losing obviously the presence of Amaya and Jenkinson. We're now starting to really settle as a team. I think with Coquelin in front of them, we've got the right balance there, and so I don't think we need to really be shaking it up too much. As you say, we're only playing 1 game a week now. We've got obviously cup semi-finals coming up, but there's no real need to rotate. And I think if you are going to rotate a team, centre backs aren't naturally the position where you're going to look to rest players. It's not exactly the most physically exhausting. Hey, you might be more likely to pick up a knock or an injury, and if that's the case, then you would rotate. But compared to say someone in a box-to-box midfielder role, they're less likely to feel that. I think that physical exhaustion. So I think for the sake of continuity in that defence, I certainly wouldn't change it. And even with Debuchy coming back, I still think Bellerin deserves to maintain his place in the first team. I wouldn't change it there.
Okay, Raj, what were you going to say, Nat?
No, I think I agree. I mean, I just don't, with 1 game a week, I don't think we'll rotate. I think if our players are fully fit, then the team that played the other week will be the team that plays every week in some ways. There'll probably be 2 or 3 changes on Saturday. But for the league, I think we've got our strongest team out at the moment, and long may it'll just carry on as it is. I cannot see why Arsene Wenger would want to rotate because he's getting the best out of the current 11.
Okay.
I think if he was going to rotate, Burnley away, Burnley second bottom of the league would be kind of the game which you think he would, no? So the fact he didn't would suggest to me that it's not really in his plans to start rotating anytime soon.
No, but those games aren't as easy as people think, and you saw that on Saturday. They're fighting for their lives, so we had to get a decent team out, and chucking in Welbeck instead of Giroud or whatever, Chambers or whatever, would have. You're just asking for trouble, and I think he's doing it the right way, and just stick to this 11. If there's an injury, then make a change. But there's enough rest in between the games to keep the same 11.
Okay, well, Bellerin seemed to have a tough day at the office on Saturday, Raj. He got skinned a couple of times. Do you put this down to the lad is learning his trade and you stick with him, or Debussy is back from injury now? Would you change for Debussy?
No, I'd stick to a settled team. He got skinned. I think, was it George Boyd who could have scored a goal because someone got past Bellerin and crossed it over, and there could have been an equaliser. But he will make those mistakes every now and again, but they're not massive ones at the moment, and you got to just trust him. He's young, but he's having a time of his life playing in the first 11. Keep him in there because his confidence will go, and you just got to back him. We've got to back the team now.
No, I agree. Andrew?
Well, no, just on that, I think, what you got to balance there is someone like Bellerin, who's obviously learning and making mistakes, is he going to be that much weaker? So we've got Hazard in a couple of weeks, Is it going to make much difference changing him for Debussy, who's not necessarily match fit? I think not. I agree with Raj there. We should stick with Hector Bellerin. He's been fantastic for us. There's just 2 points I wanted to make on the weekend. Sean Dyche, for all the praise that we've given him on the pod, he does not know how to do a tie, does he? Jesus. It finished above his belly button, which I think is just disturbing. It doesn't look right. It should be to the top of your belt, Sean. So if you're listening, if you want to step in the Premiership, start dressing like a Premiership manager.
He does dress Dorman, doesn't he?
He does. And the second point is, I don't know how many of you have, one of the kind of the train line apps on your phone. I certainly do because I wake up in random drunken places and need to get back to Greenwich. But it takes 2 minutes to see what time the train leaves Burnley to get to London. And it's an absolute disgrace that the FA and that Sky TV couldn't see, or they probably could, but ignored it, that the last train that left Burnley was departed before the game finished. So I just want to have a huge shout out and massive respect to all the Arsenal fans that made it up there, knowing that there wasn't going to be a train home afterwards, and we had to make alternative measures ways back, which isn't easy up from that part of the north, because obviously it's 10, 15 years behind. And time travelling isn't easy. So I think, definitely big respect. There's a lot of people who probably bought tickets and probably didn't go just because they wanted the away credit. So people bought them off them, knowing they wouldn't get credit, just want to go support the team. I think, we have to recognise that. And it's just a testament to the fans who were there, and they were brilliant and backed the team again.
Well, I hope Sean isn't listening because his name is Sean Dyche, not Sean Dyke that you've both called him.
Well, he dresses like a dyke with that tie.
I just want to say to all our northern listeners, I would apologise. I just don't care. I just don't care.
Don't care.
Gav.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying on, to roll on with what Andrew just said there, the club announced this afternoon that they're going to do some cheap train tickets and cheap coach tickets for the whole game.
Oh, bless their socks.
Which again, like the Burnley games, it's been moved to a Monday night with no trains home afterwards, which is fucking pathetic, really. But at least the club this time has stepped up, and they're going to put it says trains and coaches, and I think it's 20 quid standard, 30 quid first class for a return, which it would have been cheaper than what it would have been. But like I say, it's just nice that the club are starting to recognise that, and the club are starting to sort of recognise, look, when they're getting extra money because the game's being put on TV, then the extra money should be pumped into helping fans get to and from the game. Personally, I think that if an away game gets moved from any time but Saturday 3 p.m, something must be done. The FA must step in at some point and do something to say, if the game is moved for TV, then the TV and the clubs have got the responsibility to make sure that fans aren't even more out of pocket by going to the game.
No, I think that's a really good point. I mean, in all fairness, these guys take time out of their day to go and support the Arsenal. The club can support them back as well.
Well, it's
if you
just
want to
that
be,
it's like a Monday game, Jace.
Yeah.
When it's a Monday game, you've got people that are going to have to take at least one day off work.
Yeah.
To go to the game, and obviously, we've got all our lovely, hard-working black cabbies out there, and everybody else who's self-employed.
Yeah.
And like I say, they lose a day's money for it. So, something should be done about basically compensating people when the game's moved. Because, I mean, you get some games now which are moved after the tickets have gone on sale.
Yeah, well, you look at the two games, that was Swansea and Hull. They've been moved at short notice because of the title run-in and so forth.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a bit more about Sky a little later.
Okay,
but again,
I'll leave you with that one.
No, it's okay. No, I want to carry on this point because again, Sky have a responsibility to the fans as well as the club. And if the club want, they portray themselves as a community club, which all clubs should be. They're in this strong position because of generations of support from fans. They should give a little back to the guys who are going and screaming their heads off for the Arsenal. They scream their heads off. You can always hear the Arsenal away end. Wherever you are, you can always hear them. So I think that's right and proper. Well said, Gav. Back to you on this, Gav. Our favourite, Ollie Giroud, we gave him a bit of stick last season, didn't we? And rightfully so. He looked like he came off that pitch on Saturday full of bumps and bruises. He took a bit of a kicking up top, didn't he?
He generally does, though. I mean, he's a bit of a drama queen sometimes, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't, for a fella that size, really. I mean, if he was playing your other sport, rugby,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? They would laugh their heads off at him. But I mean, in all fairness, he does get a lot of kicks, but he's in that position. He's in the position where he's collecting the ball with his back to goal, and he's in the position where he's going to get kicked around the ankles, and the defenders are going to want to basically let him know that they're there. Yeah. But it's just part and parcel of football. Do you know what I mean? It don't go on as much as what he used to, and etc. But yeah, sometimes he needs a bit more protection, but sometimes I feel he can be a little bit of a drama queen over it.
I totally agree.
I mean, the first thing he does when he falls on the floor is check his hair's all right.
we spoke of this last season, but his performances of late, he's really stepped up to the mark, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's not the crybaby he was last season at times. I think.
Like I say again, he's been over here a bit more. He's been over here longer, and he's getting more used to the physical side of things, and he's got a good set of players around him that are making good runs. He's getting a little bit more space. He's certainly hitting the target a lot better. And yeah, no, like I say, I'm happy with how he's getting on.
That's superb, to be fair, isn't he? Okay, Danny.
Jawohl.
Burnley, as we said earlier on, seemed to keep Santi quiet.
Yes.
And as we said earlier on, when he's normally quiet, we have struggled, because he does just hold that ball really well. What were your thoughts on his game overall?
Well, I think Burnley were going out to defend, which is what they have to do, because they haven't really got the attacking prowess to do anybody any kind of injury. I mean, when you had Boyd, who's playing on the right wing for Burnley, I remember him when he was at Peterborough a few years ago, playing in League One and the Championship, and he was nothing special then. So if you've got a Championship player playing there, you're never really going to dominate a team like Arsenal, are you? So you're going to go like George Graham did back in the day. You're going to go defence and try and get the odd point. But you look at Burnley in their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 home games. Yeah, they've got 0-0, 1, 0, 2 against West Brom, 2 against Palace, 2 against QPR. So against the big teams, they're lucky to get a point at all. I know they beat Man City, but then again, I could beat Man City at the moment. So I think their idea is to defend really tough. I mean, I'm not sure how many bookings there was. I don't think there was that many bookings in the game. Where have I put it? There it is. Yeah, they only had their their left back and their centre back booked, which isn't too bad. I'm just looking at how many only 15 tackles each, but they had 15 fouls and we had 7 fouls. So I think from that you can see that they were just defending for their lives. I mean, the fact that they only had 32% possession was we outplayed them. And you're looking at the stats, you'd have thought that game would have been a 4 or a 5-0, but I think Burnley defended for their lives and we did well to come away with a win. I don't care how the game was rubbish to watch. I had a dodgy belly before it, I had a dodgy belly after it, and they played shit in between it. But a win's a win. Don't care. Rothman's Football Yearbook in years to come will say a W, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, we could have done better in front of goal, but happy days, isn't it?
Giroud had a very poor game, but I think we weren't going to go. And I think once we scored, we hadn't planned scoring that early.
Yeah.
And what minute was the goal scored in? 12th minute by Ramsey. And yeah, I think we hadn't planned on scoring that early, and so that kind of maybe messed up Wenger's long-term plan for the game. And so he went after that and shut down, and that's why Giroud didn't really get much, because we were playing defensive as well, which made for quite a boring game. But like you said, Mertesacker and Koscielny were brilliant.
Superb. Okay, so
do you think Burnley still secretly hate Arsenal because we actually? So you know when we had our unbeaten run of 49 games,
Yep.
Yeah.
we took it off them. They were the holders, so they won. So I think in 1921 went 30 games undefeated, which was the greatest achievement before us. Yeah. So
I
there you
think
go.
Forest as well, because theirs was something else. Our run at the moment, domestic, is 16 wins in 17 games.
It's not bad, sir.
Bloody good, but I didn't know Burnley had the record. I know Preston had one, which was
Yeah.
the first ever season in football, and I know Forest had one, but that was over all competitions, I think.
That was like the 1500s, mate. Didn't it?
Remember it well.
Yeah.
Jousting at half-time.
Nice. Okay, right, so that wraps up the Burnley match. So, on down to the Reading FA Cup semi-final on Saturday afternoon. Arsene Wenger's 10th semi-final. Not bad going, it's not too shonky. Raj, I want to start with you on this. Your thoughts on what is the easiest draw that we could have had, and how you think the team need to approach the game.
Well, I mean, don't go in there too relaxed. It is an FA Cup semi-final. Reading will be going for it. It's their biggest game of the season, or biggest game for them for years, probably. But I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of fans out there panicking and going, "Oh, we've got to be careful and all that." But the way we're playing at the moment, as long as there's not too many drastic changes in the team, and there will be, though, we all know that there will be some changes, but I think it should be pretty comfortable. And I'm not being arrogant or overconfident or whatever. I just think we are just so much better as a team than Reading, and I just can't see anything more than 2-0, 3-0. I'll be shocked if it is we scrape a 1-0 or a 2-1 or something. I just think it'll be hopefully a nice day out for the fans. We score a couple of goals early, and we're all drinking and having a good time, really.
Oh, happy days. Sounds good. Yeah, I think, they're not the greatest side. They're currently 18th in the Championship. They've been struggling, but it is the only chance they have for silverware this season. So they're going to come at us full guns blazing. Gav, a chance to rest players in the squad and give Theo a run out and so forth, or how do you see it?
Well, what would I like to happen, or what do I think he would do?
What would both actually? First of all, give me what you'd like to happen, and then tell me what you think Arsene's going to do.
Well, I mean, I'd like much the same team that started out against Burnley. To be honest with you, I can't see any reason why anybody should be brought in or pulled out of that. There's nothing, there's nothing that really completely needs fixing. A couple of players didn't perform to the best of their ability that they have this year, but like I say, it's Wembley. A lot of the players are gonna want to play there, especially some of the overseas players. It's still a dream for a lot of people to play at Wembley. And the players that are in form, you've got to put them on the pitch. Sadly, I think Mr. Wenger will probably swap the keepers over, and he'll probably swap a couple of people over in the middle as well. So it's either way. Really, you should say, to follow on with what Raj said. I mean, we could really afford to rest 5 or 6 players, and we should have enough to beat them.
Do they?
I reckon there'll be 3 or 4 changes, Gav. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, keepers,
probably Walcott for Ramsey, probably Welbeck for Giroud, probably maybe even Chambers for Bellerin. But the rest will stay in. But something like that, I reckon it'll be 3 or 4 changes.
You reckon Coquelin will start?
Yeah. He's having the time of his life. And we need someone like that, just in case things go a little bit pear-shaped. So
he has been the continuity man, hasn't he? And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
To be fair,
makes you wonder, doesn't it? That's the only thing that gets me about all the Cochran situation, and all power to the player. He's got a second chance, which many players don't get a second chance. He's got his second chance, and he's grabbed it. He's grabbed it by the balls. He's absolutely grabbed it by the balls. So, like I say, I really do. I mean, you've really got to respect him for doing that, haven't you? Do you know what I mean?
He was at last chance saloon, wasn't he? It was his final go with the Arsenal, and he's taken it both hands in a position he didn't see himself playing.
He's built to play that position. All right, he could have been a little bit taller, perhaps, but he's built to play that position. Why? Like I say, I don't want to go down any sort of form of any negative chat, so to speak, because I mean, I'm looking forward to Saturday as much as everybody else is. Yeah. But like I say, it's just all power to him. Do you know what I mean? He's got his second chance. He's gone in there and he's made a position his own, which possibly wasn't even a position.
No.
But before he started playing for us again. But so like I say, all fair play to the player.
Well, the upgrade in performance in that area from Arteta and Flamini's been massive. And I think we can all accept that. And whether people want to think it's luck, whether people think it's a grand plan, I don't really care, to be honest with you, because I'm just happy to see this kid take his chance.
Luck happens, though.
Yeah.
Luck, I mean, luck happens. Like Ashley Cole's first game for us, pure luck. And I mean, he was third choice left back, and he got his chance.
Rock in it, wasn't he? Silvino was rocking it at the time. Andrew, put down. Andrew, what are you doing?
Hello.
Stop it! I can hear you rustling. Sorry, but he was Ashley Cole took his chance, and whether it's luck or whether it isn't, I don't care, because to be fair to this lad, he has taken that opportunity both hands, and he's really done a good job with it. And sometimes you have to accept, whether it's luck or whatever, I don't care. You accept the luck that comes your way. We've had enough bad luck this season with injuries, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bellerin's another one. At the start, before, sort of anybody was bought, well, before the season kicked off and before Jenkinson went to West Ham, he was probably in, like, fourth choice right back.
Yeah.
And, like I say, and now he's in a position where everyone's saying, well, really, do you know what I mean? He shouldn't be dropped for the rest of the season. So, you've got to admire players that come in. I mean, it always reminds me of I went to a night with Perry Groves ages ago. And he always he said, look, I know I weren't the most talented. He said, but I got my chance. I took my chance and I had the bottle to do it. So you've got to admire players that come in that have got exactly the same sort of mentality, really.
No, if you look, I mean, you could sum up David Beckham's career in that light, couldn't you? Never the most talented, but the guy, he took his opportunity with United, both hands, and he made himself invaluable up until the time. He upset Ferguson.
Compare Cochran with Beckham.
Who cares? He's retired now. They both got nice hair. Fife, Andrew, on to you, mate. It's a big game. It's a big game on Saturday. It's a big day out at Wembley for the fans. After Wigan last season giving us such a massive scare, do you think Arsene and the squad are going to be ready and chomping at the bit to go at this game? Or can you see a similar start to last year where we were on our heels?
I mean, you said at the start of this conversation, it's his 10th time reaching this round of the Cup, so Wenger's probably got as much semi-experience as Raj has walking down a nightclub in Soho.
Jesus Christ almighty. My mum's listening to this.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Patel. I hope you're well. DM me.
Jesus Christ.
No, WhatsApp is a lot more efficient. Wenger's clearly got the experience. We know, as we saw with teams from, not just Wigan last year, but, Wigan in recent years, when they beat Man City. I think obviously someone joked, was it, that when Wigan beat Man City a couple of years ago in the quarter-final, it was the greatest result in the history of Arsenal Football Club, because it meant that we went on to win the FA Cup. So the FA Cup very much gives the chance to lower league teams like Reading as a British person, we very much thrive on that British Bulldog spirit. We like to the underdog is always galvanised by the big occasion. It's just kind of in our blood, I guess. And that every single football fan in this country, apart from Arsenal, are going to be supporting Reading on the day. So Wenger has the experience there to know that you can't mess around. You have to take these games. You can't take these games lightly. We've had upsets and we had near scares in the past. I remember Sheffield United back in the early noughties. They nearly knocked us out. Last year, Wigan nearly knocked us out. And you thought, we would have learnt from that. And we went into Hull and, we had our pants pulled down in the first 10 minutes. So, whether or not Wenger's going to, you would have thought after that scare against Wigan, we wouldn't have had, the same. We wouldn't be pulling our hair out again so early against Hull. So, I would like to say with confidence that someone of Wenger's experience would be able to, put the team out, settle them down, get an early goal, as Raja said, get and then build on that, capitalise. But there is something about the FA Cup, and it's why we love the FA Cup. It's not just like any old competition like the League Cup. There is something very special about it, and I know it's been probably lowered down in our estimations over recent years because of the rise of the Champions League. But it is the World Cup of domestic football, and it does give chance to small teams put their name onto the map. It does let clubs become giant killers. It's like no other competition. It's not like a normal league game. These teams are really up for it. Teams love going to Wembley and playing at Wembley. So we have to take Reading, completely seriously. There's no point, going out there and thinking that we're just going to put them to one side because they're however low down in in the Championship and because they have, far fewer fans than us. Wenger, I think we're going to have to do the same scouting analysis as we do with every team. We have to make sure we understand all their strong points, their weak points, how we can capitalise on that. Ultimately, we should pull through from the strength of our squad and our superiority. But if we don't take this game completely seriously and Wenger doesn't do his homework, the FA Cup shown us time and time again that it's not just going to be some easy game that we can cruise through.
No, absolutely well said. Are you going up to Wembley on Saturday?
I will be. I'll be in the Green Man beforehand, as per always, and probably after.
Who are you meeting up there? Who are you meeting there, Andrew?
Yeah, who are you meeting up?
Mark King, because I have 10 tickets for him. My
10?
father.
10?
I do. Yeah, he's bringing his Richmond boys. Please. So I look forward to meeting Mark.
How'd you get 10 tickets?
They sell them in
a photocopier.
No,
crayons.
10 tickets? How'd you get 10 tickets?
Anything for my boy Mark.
Oh, we're going to get questions now.
Secondary ticketing going on now.
Sounds a bit like touting going on here.
Oh, Jesus.
No, seriously, how'd you get 10 tickets?
That's what.
He can't tell you on a pod, can he? Photocopy them.
He might have 10 season tickets.
He's got a few.
No, 10 tickets for the Gunners, for the Green Man, not for the game.
You tits. Fucking hell. Alright, Twitter, calm down.
Christ, lads. But actually, no, that's actually, I could get 10 tickets for the game through my box. I've got a box at Arsenal for my company, and I can get 10 tickets that way, but I always decline the box tickets at Wembley. No, I'm meeting Mark King and Giles, so that'll be a good day, and I'll be with my dad.
Hello, Giles.
The beer will be slow.
No one else, just Mark King and Giles.
I'm a socialite. If I see someone I know, I'll say hello.
We did have someone on Twitter asking who of the ABW11 were going. I said Jeff, Raj, and Andrew were all going.
Yeah.
I will be.
Yeah. Because Andrew's got all the tickets, so nobody else can go. Okay. Danny, I understand you've got some stats on Reading.
I certainly do. Reading are shit. Other than that, they are 18th in the Championship. They are only 8 points above relegation. They're 1 place above and 1 point above Reading, who we went to and beat 3-2. And then I was just doing a little breakdown of their last 12 games. Played 12, won 2, 1-2, drew 5, lost 5, scored 11, conceded 18. And of that 11 they scored, 11 were v Bradford in the FA Cup. They are absolutely atrocious. We should. I know we can't guarantee on a win, but their last 5 games, they lost 1-0 away to Bournemouth, home to Bournemouth, drew with Blackburn, drew with Blackpool. I could beat Blackpool, and they drew at home with Reading. They drew at home with Cardiff, and they lost away at Charlton. So yeah, they are in a shit run of form, and I daren't say what kind of attendance. Well, their last game against top of the Championship Bournemouth, their attendance was 18,000. That's disgusting. And the game before that, they played Blackburn Rovers. The attendance 17,000. Now, why the hell are they getting 30-odd thousand tickets? It's an absolute joke. Go on, I'll let you lot argue about that.
Dogs and their fucking window cleaners with them.
Yeah, it's not right at times, is it, lads? It's not right. Okay. This question now, I've got a question from Twitter regarding the game time. And it's from Pete Gooner at the PA Gooner. And he's basically asking, what are your thoughts that the FA Cup semi-final is on at the same time as the Chelsea United game? Now, Arsene Wenger was asked about this in his press conference, and he wasn't happy about it. Obviously, it's the FA Cup semi-final. It's a big game. Chelsea United is a big game. Surely they should sort something out. Raj, to you first on this, your thoughts?
Arsene Wenger's 100% spot on. It's an absolute disgrace. It's, again, degrading the FA Cup in favour of the Premier League. The Premier League is where the money is. And it's just, I just don't understand it. I mean, is someone just completely thick over there or not? But it will mean that the neutral might not even watch the semi-final on Saturday when it should be traditionally. Everyone should be watching that game. A few million people will be watching the Chelsea game, So I don't know what the FA are up to, but money talks in that organisation, and with the millions and billions that's coming into Premier League football, they've just made the worst decision ever. It's ridiculous.
It's not good, is it? Gav, don't hold back.
To be honest, I wouldn't give a fuck who's playing at the same time, because I'd only want to watch Arsenal. So,
yeah, but
I mean, I can appreciate, and I agree exactly with what Raj said there. I mean, it does seem like they're degrading the FA Cup by putting what is one of the top Premiership games of the season on telly at the same time. But who gives a fuck? I'll be watching the Arsenal.
Superb.
Do you know what I mean? It's
no. I think that's a fair comment, mate. I think at the end of the day, I think it is an issue. But again, we'll all be watching one game.
And it's silly things. I mean, like, Mr. Wenger comes out with this, and maybe he now wants to get as much worldwide publicity for the club as possible, and blah blah blah. But like I say, I mean, we was pretty much late to the party with that when he wanted to take us pre-season friendlies in Austria every year when everybody else was travelling around the world increasing their profile.
That's a different question, Gav.
But no, it's the same thing though. I mean, if Wenger's worried that the profile of this game and the profile of Arsenal Football Club will get damaged because the Chelsea Man United game is shown live on TV around the world at the same time, then surely, like I say, his own actions in the past haven't supported that. Do you know what I mean?
It's the profile of the FA Cup. I mean, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter whether you're an Arsenal fan, Chelsea, or whatever. As fans, we were brought up on the FA Cup, surely. I mean, the days when they used to have 9-10 hours of coverage of the game. And there were plenty of times when Arsenal weren't in the final, and I still watched, me and my brothers would still stay up, be up all day watching whatever two teams were in the cup final.
What team do your brother support, Raj?
My middle brother supports Nottingham Forest.
Oh, he's a child of the old
and my youngest brother is a Tottenham supporter.
Disown him.
My
brother supports.
The thing is, though, it is the semi-final, and like I say, I mean, you could also say that the FA have degraded going to Wembley by playing the semi-finals in Wembley in the first place.
Maybe so, but I mean, for Reading, this is their big day of the season, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, if example, this was like how before, the FA wanted to get as many bums on seats as possible, and the semi-final was played at a neutral ground. This would have been played at Villa Park.
Yeah.
And Reading would have still had more than enough tickets for all of their fans.
Yeah, true.
So, like I say, and without this Wembley club level, possibly more Arsenal supporters would have got to go to the game. Okay, Andrew.
Well, do you not think that the FA have completely bantered Mourinho off by letting us have 10 minutes extra rest? So we start at 5:20, and Chelsea start at 5:30. So I'm waiting until he brings out that excuse, in his next press release on press conference on Thursday. But no, I mean, I completely get both the guys' sentiments. Kind of siding with Raj here. Listen, we're all Arsenal fans. We're all going to watch Arsenal. We're, whether at the ground, whether watching on TV. But for the neutral fan, as Raj says, we've all grown up on the FA Cup, and I don't really care who's playing in the semi-final. I just love watching football. Obviously I love watching Arsenal more than any other team, but I want to see, great football. And so if I'm in the position where I'm paying a hell of a lot of money for Sky, let's be honest, there's a lot of people who pay for their Sky subscription, begrudgingly.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the expenses for a lot of people, which is probably the most disposable. It's probably the most inelastic in the sense that if you had to drop a cost to increase your living ability, Sky would go. But we keep it because we love the game, right? It gives us loads of coverage, and likewise the BBC. It doesn't get football very often. It gets the FA Cup games, and so when it does, it tries to choose the highlight. And so then to have you're paying all this money to see the football, and to have two conflicting games at the same time, I think it's a disgrace, really, and it goes against. We shouldn't be pitting the league and the FA Cup against one another for these rights. It should be that we start to see the BBC itself obviously needs to take action. It's not there for Sky's there for commercial purposes. The BBC there is actually supposed to promote promote good television. They should be working together and stuff like this. For the neutral fan, it's a disgrace. We pay a lot of money. We want to watch good football, and to have to make a decision like this, it's just not right. We should be able to see both games on the weekend. I can completely agree in that sense. The shame of it is a lot of this is just done, and it's not even for the benefit of the British fan. It's not like the game's being played at a later time. It's for the American market. We know this. America wakes up at X many hours after us, and so they want to capture that worldwide audience. It's not, the people which are paying the money to have these TV subscriptions aren't even getting the benefit from it. It's for people the other side of the world, which obviously I'm not having any go at any fans on the other side of the world, but it completely goes against British football fans are being punished to watch British football, which we're paying through the nose for.
I mean, the FA would never have a live game at 3 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, they could have had it at 12. They could have had it at 12:45, Gav. You could have had a brilliant day's worth for the neutral fan, and we just said about an hour.
Could have had a great day, yeah.
Could have had a great day for the neutral fan. They could have had a 12:45 kickoff, big Premier League game, then little break, and then a FA Cup semi-final, 5 o'clock. It would have been a brilliant day for the neutral fan. And we just said half an hour ago that the FA need to show some responsibility for all fans, and yet this is a prime example of where they're failing fans. They don't give a shit about fans. Yeah. They don't care about what the fans think. And funny that's where their failure is.
Alex Finn posted on Twitter earlier on, and he basically said the tail is wagging the dog now. The Premier League was set up for the FA to have charge and not the Football League, and now it seems that Sky has charge of it.
It's MBT as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Danny, go nuts, mate. Tell us what you think.
It's just money, isn't it? I mean, our very own Chris put a little letter that he got from Sky, and they took a photo of it in the WhatsApp group and put the C word underneath it. And £4.50 extra they're charging, and all they do is just mug us off the entire fucking time. We all need to get together and everyone stop going to football. And until we do that, they're just going to keep ruining the game just for the advertisers, just for people who don't even like football. And the average football fan is just going to they are being priced out. I mean, people have been priced out of going to lower league football. £25 to go and see League One Peterborough. That's an absolute bloody joke. I think someone was saying on TalkSport the other day, they went to see a non-league game in conference, it cost them £21. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that you could get into a Premier League game for that. And this is drifting all the way down. We need to go straight. We pay more money to Sky. Sky pay more money to the players, and the players pay the agents. We need to go. Everything is going to get cut down by a quarter. All of our bills are a quarter. The Premier League gets a quarter. The players get a quarter, and then everyone will still be able to live. But it won't happen, will it? Because it's just until it all implodes on itself, and then in 10, 15 years' time, they'll be begging us to come down with £1 season tickets. I just can't wait until football's on its arse. And all these twats ruining the game for the sake of money. I mean, how can it make a difference to players whether you're on £100,000 a week or £200,000 a week? It's not going to make the slightest bit of difference, is it?
Danny, you're preaching to converted.
I know. It's bollocks.
Let's be honest.
Just moving the game like that, I'd like to see both games. I want to watch one, and then I want to watch the other. I mean, I don't even think the semi-final should be at fucking Wembley, for fuck's sake.
No, I agree there.
It's only because those wankers went and spent £600 million building a shit stadium in a shit part of London. That thing should have been built in the Midlands or somewhere neutral. Not in that anyone ever been to Wembley? It's a shithole of an area. You have to drive through a single-lane industrial estate to fucking get there. Oh, it's fucking ridiculous.
Apologies to our listeners in North East London.
No, not apologies. Fuck him. You live in a shithole. Move. I'd move if it was up to me.
I'm not going to argue that. It does.
You're right though, Dan. Because if say for instance we were playing this game at Villa Park, right? You take out all the fucking Wembley club level members or whatever they are, right?
Yep.
Then you take away all these tickets that have gone to the football family for a semi-final, right?
Which is about 30,000, isn't it? Or 20,000. It's bullshit.
30,000.
It would work out literally the same amount of Arsenal and Reading supporters watching the game in fucking Birmingham.
And how many of those people who at least 30,000 will be going will actually give a fuck about the game?
Yeah.
Now, I know someone who's involved with one of his local FAs, and that local FA got 2 tickets to last year's final. And it was fixed because the bloke who ran it and a Man United fan got to the final, even though quite a few people that were involved are Arsenal fans. As usual, the people at the top in that region got it, and it's absolute bullshit. It just goes on the whole time. It's nepotism. It makes me sick.
It is the symptom of a bigger issue, though, isn't it? You know, I mean, how many staff at the Arsenal don't get paid a living wage?
And all the players get free tickets as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You know, you can go into it. It's for a small question, it throws up some big issues.
And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse the entire time. And we're the ones paying the price for everyone else to get what they want, and it's bullshit. Put me in charge. I'll sort it out. No player would be more than £1,000 a week. Have that, you twats, with your wanky tattoos and your ugly misses.
Okay, superb. Right, okay, so we've answered that. Now I want to look at who the panel would pick as their team for Saturday. You know, everybody's going to be debating, do we rest, do we rotate, what's happening. So we're just going to have a quick look at who we'd pick as a team. I'm going to start with Raj. Goalkeeper Raj, who would you choose for Saturday?
Chesney. I have to, because I argued this same point a year ago today, that Fabianski had to stay in goal.
Yeah.
Because he'd taken the team, he was part of that team that took us to the semi-final. And everyone slagged me off. So I can't really change my mind a year later, even though privately I wouldn't mind seeing a speeder in there, because I don't particularly trust Chesney, to be quite honest. I've lost a little bit of faith in him. But I think Arsene will pick Wojciech for the semi-final on Saturday.
Superb. Gav.
Raj is right.
Fife.
Yeah, I agree.
Danny.
Have you seen that latest vine of Chesney going around? What he was saying in that interview?
No, I haven't seen it.
In a Cockney accent, I gave your daughter a lift in my car. Great shag. That was him saying it on some Polish TV show. I don't know how long ago that was. The bloke's a fucking bellend. I'd rather see Martinez in goal than him. I'd rather put Jason in goal.
I'd do a job.
And blindfold you. I fucking hate him.
I'd do a job.
You would. You'd kill someone and get sent off in the first minute.
Oh, there are a couple I want to batter. Okay.
Now, what would you pick then? Who would you have in goal?
I can't stand Chesney anymore. I think he shot his boat at the club, to be honest with you. Last season, I could see the reason. I could see the reason for keeping Fabianski in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he was never any trouble to the club.
Yeah.
But I think Chesney's...
He's a liability.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you saw against Reading in the FA Cup, I think it was, or Middlesbrough, within the first 10 minutes, Chesney come out windmilling like Jerry Payton, as old Lord Hill would say.
It was against United, and he just looked like Bambi on ice. Okay.
Ridiculous.
So we're going to go with the majority and pick Chesney. Left back, Danny.
Oh, it's going to have to be Monreal. He's going to be my left back for time immemorial.
Okay. Fife. Andrew.
Nacho Monreal.
Sweet. Gav.
I don't think it matters much between Monreal and Gibbs, to be honest with you.
But who would you choose?
As I said earlier, I'd probably go with the majority of the team that started against Burnley.
Okay. Raj, who would you go for your centre-halves, mate?
I'd keep the same two.
Okay.
Mertesacker and Koscielny.
Right.
I just want to say that Ignacio Nacho Monreal Arasso is a Spanish professional footballer who plays for English club Arsenal as a left back. Just thought I'd just say that. String it along a little bit, you know.
Someone's playing for
What's his middle
time.
name again? What's his middle names?
Ignacio Monreal Arasso.
I heard he had a slug collection. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about his slug collection?
I don't know much about his slug collection. Can I finish
this crap out now?
Sorry,
no,
can I
you
finish?
No, you can't. You know damn well what you're doing.
We've actually had a question on Twitter from Catherine, who is at COY Gooners Girl. And she says, I've actually put it in 3 tweets. I didn't understand what she meant, but it's a good question. Should Debuchy play maybe 60 to 70 minutes before bringing on Bellerin for the last 30 minutes now that we're coming up to the right back position? I think she's got a point.
I'd pick Debuchy, yeah. I got to be honest, say I would.
Bit of bring Bellerin on for a bit of pace in the last half hour and ruin them as he scores 3 goals from the halfway line.
Yeah, okay.
I think with Matteo Debuchy, born 28th of July 1985, he's a French professional footballer who plays for English club Arsenal.
Okay, this is a private joke which needs to be outed there. Every week, Raj moans about the length of the podcast. And last week when he did the magnificent ticketing podcast, myself and Dom mercilessly ripped him apart and took the mickey for a few days. And I promised this podcast would come in under 90 minutes, and we have no frigging hope. We're okay? So I owe Raj Patel a tenner. And I've just been bent over.
There was money. I didn't know there was money on it.
Oh yeah, there's money on this and everything.
If I'd known now, I would have spoken a bit longer about the Burnley game.
Oh, you're a tit. Okay, well, it's out the window anyway. I'm going to have to give the guy a tenner. I'm not happy.
None of your Welsh nonsense as well. Not your Welsh tenner.
I'm going to send it to him pennies.
No, give the tenner to the Henry Hicks Fund. There you go.
That's actually keep as a shout out. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Okay, so we're going to go Debuchy at right back now, just to annoy everybody. Who's in midfield then, guys? Go nuts.
Oh, well, it's got to be Mad Frankie and the man with the quietest feet in football, Santi Cazorla, who I think is from Spain. He's a Spanish international, and his favourite field is cucumbers.
Okay, cool. Fife.
Yep, exactly the same. I'd have Coquelin and Santi Cazorla in midfield, although I'd have Bayer in at right back.
I don't care what you want at right back. I'm having Debuchy. Gav. Sorry. Gav, who else in the midfield with you playing number 10?
Ozil.
Yep.
Well, now I know you've lost a tenner. I'm going to keep it short, can't I?
You're kind of stuffed here. Who are you going to go for on the left then, Raj?
I wasn't paying attention. What did you say there?
Who's going to play on the left?
Ozil.
No, Ozil's playing 10.
Oh, is he? I don't know.
Well, you've got to pick either Welbeck or maybe Santi if you don't want him playing in central midfield.
No, I'll just keep it. I'll tell you, if you want, I'll tell you the 11 that's going to play on Saturday.
Go on then.
It's going to be...
This is Jose Mourinho moment, yeah.
Yeah, can you tell us the 11 that's going to play against us as well?
And the
I don't know
result.
about the 11 that's playing against us, but Chambers will come in for Bellerin. I'll tell you that now. Welbeck will come in for Giroud. And I'm pretty sure Walcott's going to come in for someone, but I'm not too sure.
You think he's going to take it that lightly?
I don't think he's going to take it like that. I think that team is still strong enough to beat Reading.
Yeah.
Well,
And the others will be on the bench, and he'll change them around. You need trust him.
I think he'll play his strongest 11, like Gav was saying, against Burnley. I don't think there's going to be much change from that. I don't think he's going to take the risk. We ain't going to win the league, and his only chance of silverware is in the FA Cup. Don't fuck around with it.
Tell you what, if United do Chelsea over on Saturday, boys, you never know.
We still won't win the league.
Hold up, yeah. In '89, nobody gave us a chance. In '97, nobody gave us a chance.
That was one game, Jace.
No. We lost games in between. But my point would be, they've still got to win those games. You know, never know.
We're more likely to, at this moment in time. We're more likely to finish fourth than we are first.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't disagree too much.
Sadly,
I wouldn't
Man
disagree
U
too
beating
much.
Chelsea is just as much of an indicator of them overtaking us than it is, us overtaking Chelsea. We still got to go to Man U away.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. No. But it's the point.
If Man U do Chelsea and we get turned over by Chelsea and Man United, then what's that put us 5 or 6 points behind Man United with about 4 games left?
Relegation, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
But then again, boys, it's all to play for, isn't it? You know, until the point of when you don't know.
Nothing for a pair, not in this game.
No,
Gav, who do you want to win on Saturday, Man United or Chelsea? Because I'll tell you what, I'll take the gamble and I want Man United to win.
Yep, I'm with you.
Let's take the gamble.
You'd have to. You obviously want that. You obviously want that. Nobody wants Chelsea to go, unbeaten for the rest of the season. You've just got to be realistic about it. Do you know what I mean? If Chelsea lose their next 2 games and we win our next 2 games,
pressure.
Then it starts building up. But it's kind of people are jumping they're jumping too quickly into the fact that we're in with a chance.
Oh look,
if you look, Chelsea have lost 2 games out of 31 in the league this year, right? We need them to lose 3 out of the remaining 7.
But better it be in our own hands than out of our hands, isn't it?
We could manage that. We could easily lose 3 out of our last 7.
We could quite easily lose. Do you know what I mean? But I love the optimism that until we're mathematically out of it, blah blah blah. But I can't. Do you know what I mean? If you think that we're going to win the league that much, go and put your mortgage money on it. Do you know what I mean? But it ain't going to happen.
It's highly unlikely, isn't it? It's a real long shot.
Yeah,
you are talking 500 to 1 at the Grand National. Make no mistake about it. But again, guys, sport's about hope, isn't it? You've got to go out there and play like you're challenging for the title. Whatever's going to happen, better be in our hands.
We are. Our form is like we're playing to win the title. But like I say, to go back on what Raj said, of course, I'd rather Man United won because Chelsea are the ones that are above us.
Okay. But then would we be regretting that when we've drawn 1 and maybe lost 1, and then Man United are a point behind us and we've got to play them?
No. You're thinking the wrong way. If Chelsea lose on Saturday and we beat them the following week, it's game on.
Well, that was a bit of a kerfuffle, and they both have 10 points deducted.
Oh God! I tell you what, if they lose these next 2 games, I just think we've got a small chance. Maybe it's just the kid in me again, but you got to have that little bit of belief.
What would that put us 6 points behind them with 7 games left?
And I think they'd see their arse. I honestly do. And
they have fluked their last 3 wins. They should have drawn all of those.
They haven't been convincing in the last few games. It's unbelievable. And
Costa's carrying a hamstring injury on and off all season. Seska's got black eyes and a dodgy nose.
The pressure's on them if they lose these 2 games.
Oh, imagine Maureen.
Can you imagine what's going to happen? It'll be mental.
I would do a sexy dance.
Got to believe it. You just got to believe it sometimes, And if it doesn't happen, then tough.
Watch you do that dance then.
Do you know what, Josh? I'm with you. Okay, better bloody have a go at it, and think positively than not have a go and not think you can do it. It's the way forward. Let's have a go, and hopefully things go away. If they do go away, great. We can capitalise on it. If they don't, well, we weren't expecting the world anyway. We were just giving it a go.
I think the term "shit or bust" applies, and we need to enforce that rule.
Anyway, St Tottenham is going to be upon us very soon. That's the most important thing.
Let's hope so, isn't it? It would be nice to see that.
I'm getting bored of it, though, every bloody year. Oh.
No, you can never get bored of it. I got to be honest, I was able to put on a Facebook page a picture of Tiger Tim saluting Adebayor to my Tottenham mates last week. That went down like a lead balloon. It didn't go well. Okay, well, stuff the team anyway. Let's go on to the Facebook questions. I'm done with that team now. I think Raj nailed it, to be fair. We're going to do some Facebook questions first, then we're going to do some Twitter questions. Right, Chris Hopkins. I don't think Wenger should go. I think he's doing well. But what with Klopp being free, should Arsenal move to secure him? Andrew Fife.
Klopp's a very good manager, and obviously with him leaving Dortmund, it arises great potential for us to go in from. We know we've been linked to him. Whether it's right at the minute, I'm not sure. I don't really understand the circumstances in why he's left or why he's asked to leave. and I wouldn't really want to comment too much into that unfolds. He seems like it could be a great fit for Arsenal one day. Whether he's ready yet, I'm unsure. I think whether it's more likely. It looks more likely that he's going to end up at City this summer, doesn't it, than us? And I can't see the club getting rid of Arsene Wenger before his 3-year contract runs out. So it's really much an irrelevant question.
Okay. Gav, do you want to add anything to that?
No, not really. It's just bad timing, isn't it? It would have been nice if he'd stayed there for another couple of years and come to us, really. But like I say, it's not going to happen, is it?
No, I can't see it. Okay, Brendan O'Donoghue's asking, will we actually make a title challenge next year, or do you think another write-off early on and hope for the best season after? Raj?
I think we are very close to being title contenders. We need to just maybe fill in a couple of holes over the summer. It's very important that we do come second or third, because then we can do our business early and have this squad set up for August. In the last few years, we've maybe held on because we've had to qualify for the Champions League, and then by the time we've done that, the argument has been that there was no one to buy by that time. So, yeah, I think we are close. Well, we have been close for a while now. It's just that annual frustration in the summer of whether we're going to do the business, but I'm hoping we will do.
Okay, Danny?
I'm just looking at that thing about Klopp. Did you know that on the Manchester City Wikipedia page, it's got all their managers and their nicknames? Pellegrini, the engineer. Brian Kidd, Kiddo. Roberto Mancini, Bobby Mack. You bunch of twats. Why would any manager go there when you know you're going to win the title and be sacked next year? I agree with 100% with what Raj says. Our very own Jeff Arsenal said, and you can go and listen to the old Steve's Board Collective podcast. You go to about November 2012 when he first did it. He said, "My boys, 2015. There you go.
Okay.
That was almost an MP3 cut and paste of what he said. He said 2015 will be our season from then onwards, and it's looking like Jeff knows.
You can't really argue with that, can you? He has said it.
Oh, it must be true.
But I agree with Raj. I think next season we will be title contenders. Man City haven't got enough money due to FFP to rebuild an entire team. Whoever goes there is on a hide into nothing, and it's going to be between us, Man United, and Chelsea next season.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Andrew, we've got a question from Alan Wiseman.
Hello, Alan.
If you could choose one Premier League player from another club to have at Arsenal, who would it be?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Well, I mean, a few months ago, I would have said Morgan Schneiderlin. He would have been the easy fit. But then we've got Coquelin now. So do we really need Schneiderlin to replace Coquelin? Although at the same time, I'm all for competition. I think competition in life's healthy. And I think, we should probably see Flamini let go this summer. And I think Arteta's on his last legs now. Diaby's been on his last legs for 10 years. So, yeah, as you know, Schneiderlin would be a good fit. You want to have more than one good player in every position. And it'd be some good competition for Coquelin. So he'd probably be my pick.
Okay. Gav, yours, mate.
Sounds boring agreeing with people. I agree with Andrew.
Okay. Raj?
Yeah, I would have said Schneiderlin. Again, we don't really need to go out and spend hundreds of millions of pounds. He's a ready-made player. And although Coquelin's playing really well at the moment, he does need a backup or, someone to kind of compete with him in that position. So I'll go for Schneiderlin.
Okay. I think we also need to see who's going to leave this. Like we've been talking about it in the WhatsApp group now, haven't we, for a little while, that there might be a large exodus of players, not necessarily key players this summer, but players like Wilshere, players like Walcott, players like Szczesny, DRB, Rosicki, Sonogo, Podolski, Jenkinson. So the players we see coming in this summer, obviously, we all want to see another huge name, but it might be the case that we're replacing a lot of squad players for better squad players. So whether or not we find that superstar in the Premier League or not, or whether we find someone, a replacement for Walcott in the Premier League, I think is a completely different question. And I don't think we necessarily we're going to find the main man in our league. But it will be interesting to see some of the ins and outs. And I don't think we necessarily have to spend the same level of the same level of net if there's going to be those outgoings this summer.
No, that's let's be honest, we can quite easily get rid of 4 players and not miss them. We all know who they are. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Danny.
Weaken another team and strengthen us on the left, Hazard.
That's nice.
Do what Man City did to us, weaken other teams, which I think it was Steve pointing out to us, and I'd never really thought of it. They went out and thought, what other team can we weaken and take their position by taking their players? And I thought about it, I went, bloody hell, you know what, he's right.
No, very true.
Bastards.
Okay, thank you to everyone who's asked Facebook questions. We're running short on time as Raj has been pointing out to me. We're going to go to Twitter. And this is from Connor Jennings, at Jennings_AFC. Do you think Wellington Silva will get a chance at Arsenal next season?
No.
Right, okay. There we go. 5.
Wellington who?
Andrew?
Yeah, you know what Wenger's like. He likes to give players opportunities in the Carling Cup and the Carling Cup, the Cock Cup.
Yeah.
Whether he'll play Silva there or not, I don't know. I have no opinion on that. I don't see why he would. So really, no opinion.
Okay, Gav.
Yeah, I can't see it happening. I think they'll just sell him eventually.
You never know. He might. I've never seen the guy play. I have no idea. Raj?
No, it's probably going to be another Vela. We wait 4 years.
Ella.
We're going to wait 4 years for it to get a passport, and then we'll sell him in a year's time. So no, I don't. No, I'm not interested really.
Okay. At Charlie_FC has also asked the same question, so thank you for that.
Did they say whether they? I mean, we've loaned him out to Levante, Alacoyana and Ponaferida and Murcia and Almeria.
But he's never had the work permit, has he? He's always been denied the work permit.
We ain't exactly pulling up trees, is he?
No, he's not.
No, I mean, most of those are like second division Spanish teams, and he has done slightly. Jesus, that heavy breathing's getting bad, Raj. You all right?
I was on a wank, don't I? Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, sweet.
I know. Gav has that effect on all of us.
I need to shut
I mean, this season for Almeria, he's got no goals in 14 games. Last season for Murcia, 3 goals in 38. Just get rid of him.
And there's been literally hundreds of players in the last 10, 15 years, young players who we can maybe not mention off the top of our heads, but we can research. I mean, you can remember, he was going to have a shot, he could have had a shot. To pick out Wellington Silva and to, guess whether he's going to get in, it's like, throw in a sausage down a black corridor. There's no one. Wenger works in mysterious ways, and so I think it'd be very hard to predict whether Wellington Silva is going to get an opportunity or not. I don't think he's done anything to merit one. I think obviously Wenger tried giving Joel Campbell one at the start of the season, and it didn't turn out. So I really don't see why Wenger would, to be honest.
There's been a great World Cup.
Yeah, but there's just too many examples of players where he's given that opportunity. I just can't see it.
Okay. Right. Actually, Raj, I'm going to go back to you in this one. From Chronicle, at Nikal Grobilla asks, which transfer, in your opinion, would improve Ozil's performance next season?
Benzema.
Really?
Oh, I've got him on FIFA. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's the one for you, is it?
He played off him quite well at Madrid. Let's set him up for loads and loads of goals. Benzema. I tell you what, though, Khedira's on a free, isn't he? I wonder whether Arsene Wenger will be tempted.
I hope not. He's
free, though. That's the thing. It's free.
But his legs have gone. And he's going to be 200 grand a week, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we should sign him, but no, Benzema. Wouldn't that be a great signing? We won't sign him, but wouldn't that be a wonderful signing? Him and Giroud taking turns up front. That'd be brilliant.
It wouldn't be bad. Andrew?
Andrew's texting.
It's the time zones.
He's on Tinder.
No, I'm on Happen. I'm in Canary Wharf. I saw the babes on Happen within my 500-metre radius. No, I mean, realistically, what does Ozil need to improve? He's got a holding midfielder behind him now, so he's got that solidarity. He's got Santi Cazorla playing off of him, giving him, triangular football. He's got, in Sanchez, a dynamic left midfielder. In Giroud, he's got, a number 9 who he can play the ball off of. So, it kind of leaves you to think, do we need someone who can play on the end of the back four? Someone like, an improved version of Theo Walcott. But then at the same time, do any of us really want to see Chamberlain dropped? I don't. I think Chamberlain's been fantastic for us, and he's shown great potential. So I think obviously Ozil plays very well when he's, the number 10 with two relatively stable midfielders behind him, like a Schweinsteiger and a holding midfielder. But in the current formation, I think we've now got a very well balanced midfield, a very well balanced strike force, and we don't necessarily need to have to worry about improving the team around Ozil. I think he's starting to come into lots. His form's obviously showing lately. He's very settled, and with the players he's got around him, he's shining. So I don't think it's necessarily a case of having to worry about Ozil anymore, and that shouldn't really be our biggest concern. We should look more towards the back four. If we're going to spend money in the summer, I think bringing in a big name centre back to replace Mertesacker, who I think obviously has been great for us, but he's now on his kind of in his latter years, would certainly be more of a focus for me than it would be trying to worry about bringing in players to suit Ozil.
Okay, cool. Gav?
He's forgotten the question.
The question was, one signing would you make in the summer to improve Ozil's performance, or do you think would help his performance?
Snowden.
Snowden?
Yeah.
I thought he said Snowden.
So
Edward Snowden. They're not going to.
Is this a bit too far away from my microphone? Yes, him.
Yeah, no. You can imagine that solidity behind him coming up and down. That's cool. Okay, Danny, do you want to answer that question?
I think we need someone who can score goals, and I don't think Raj is too far away by saying Benzema, because they had a fantastic connection at Real Madrid, and I think Real Madrid have got quite a few players, and if they don't win the league this season, if Barcelona do pip them, which it looks like after this weekend's result, then I think they might have a little bit of a clear out, because it looks like Carlo Ancelotti is going to get the boot. A new manager, new massive amount of debt, new tax fiddles, new stuff they can sell back to the council. And so they'll just go mad buying everybody. So I reckon 30, 40 million. I think Wenger or the board have said that there'll be one major signing every season. So I'll go with Benzema.
Is he really that much better than Giroud, though?
Oh, he's not better. He's a different type of player. He's more of a... It's a cross between Benzema and between Giroud and Henry, I think. I mean, the fact that he's French means he'll get on well with the manager and Giroud. And
I think he doesn't get on with Giroud, does he? They notoriously don't get on.
Do they? I've no idea. I'm not French. I know none of the French get on with each other. They're always arguing about the price of Camembert and Brie. That's making me hungry. But I think he's got pace. He's got an eye for goal. I think whereas Giroud would need 3 or 4 shots to get one on goal, Benzema's much better than that. But they're again playing in La Liga. I could score 30 a season.
Okay,
I'm not sure. I think just to cut in, I think the way that Giroud holds the ball up, I think the way Giroud gives us a pivot up front and brings it. So where we've got basically 3 midfielders playing just behind one number 9, he brings a defensive. So right from the start, right at the top of the field, Giroud's battling. So he, defend. I always say in this pod, teams defend from the striker down, and Giroud gives us that battle. He brings players into the game. He presses high up the field. He's a battler, and his goal scoring. When he first came to Arsenal, he was about as efficient as finishing as the builders were at Wembley Stadium. Do you know what I mean? He was awful.
Topical.
But now he's he's one of the most lethal strikers in the league. He's scoring from areas of outside of the area, inside of the area. He's clinical, and he brings us an entirely new, different dimension. We've tried playing well back up front to have that pacey striker who'll play off the edge, but as a team we look far more stable and balanced with Giroud up top. Players can play beyond him. He'll bring players into the game, and I think actually with Ozil's style his link up with Giroud is one of the reasons why we're so good at the moment. I think when you look at our spine, the link up play between Ramsey when he plays in the middle of midfield, Ozil and Giroud, it makes us sometimes unplayable, and I think if we compromise that, it could actually be to our detriment rather than to a benefit. So I personally would disagree on that point. And I think replacing Benzema for Giroud wouldn't be the best thing for Ozil.
Andrew, I don't think it's a case of replacing. I think it's, letting battle it out, because, let's be honest...
But only one of them can play.
But Giroud has been out for half the season injured. Okay?
Yeah.
And that happens. So you do need top quality backup. I mean...
Of course. But you wouldn't bring in a player as backup to improve. I mean, the fundamental question is, who would you bring in to improve Ozil's game? And I'm saying I don't disagree. We need to have players who can play up front and players to support Giroud, or players who can come in for Giroud. But you can't really play Giroud and Benzema. They tried it in the World Cup, didn't they? And they put Giroud out on left wing, and he was awful. So I think actually the way in which they've played together, Ozil always looks much better, and Giroud always looks much better when those two are on the same pitch together. Remember the Henry and Perez days? Okay, it's not as effective, but the partnership and the link-up play between them is so intricate that I wouldn't want to jeopardise that.
Okay, fair enough.
Jace, just talking about that, do you think the day will ever come when Giroud can play in the Bergkamp role? Because I think he's got the hold-up ability. He's good at passing it on. He's got a good eye for the game. We have a more goal-scoring striker playing ahead of him. Do you think he'll ever be able to do that?
I just think they're better. You can't knock his touch. You can't knock his vision. But that's always a back to goal. That Bergkamp role was front, facing goal, etc.
He hasn't got the skills to do it, but
I just think if you've got players like Santi Cazorla and you've got the likes of Ozil, leave Giroud do what he does best.
fair enough.
I think he's been fabulous. To be fair,
was that you praising Cazorla?
No, I'll edit that out. Don't worry.
Oi, Danny, do you have any questions for the guys?
One quick comment from Sadia. She says, "You are spoiling us, Gav and Raj together."
I know.
Kissy hearts. Will Stafford makes a good point. Arsenal's opening day 11 included Chesney, Chambers, Gibbs, Arteta, Wilshere and Sonogo. How far have we come already? He didn't say already, but it's a question mark, exclamation mark. That made me itch. Jace, what do you think to that?
I think we have come a long way through trial, error, luck. We've been through the ringer this season, and our current form is showing that we've developed 8 more games. We've got to win 8 more games. Let's make it a run of 16 wins. It's a tall order, but they're showing they've got the team to do it. They've got the mentality to do it. They've got to go out. Chelsea beat Reading. Beat Mourinho for the first time, that Chelsea team, first time in a long time, and then go away and back up our FA Cup performance in Manchester, and we'll see what can happen then. These next 3 games are massive.
You got any wise words on that, Raj?
I think Jason's spot on. We have progressed. You can't deny that.
None of those would make the starting 11 now, would they?
No, a lot of those will probably be gone in the summer as well. Hopefully, as well. Sonogo needs to go. He's not a player. I've been saying that all along. Needs to go. Yes, Jason's right. We have progressed, and we're in a good position. I'm not complaining whatsoever.
Gav, don't say what.
Well, we're doing, but we can't do much worse than how we started off in August, can we? Let's be honest about it. Do you know what I mean? It was a dreadful start after another transfer window with missed opportunities. So, with the way it's been turned around since Coughlin's got the chance has been absolutely brilliant. But like I say, we've just got to hope that we can get these fabled 2 or 3 players that we need to mount a challenge. And hopefully this summer is going to be the summer that we're going to get these 2 or 3 players. Because every summer we say, we're maybe 2 or 3 players light, and we were. So, like I say, hopefully with Coughlin, maybe we just need the 1 or 2 players. But like I say, we have improved. We're going in the right direction. Just.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice to hear.
Yeah, it's positive.
Andrew, anything you want to add to that? Or do you just want to high-five the pair of them?
Yeah, big shout out, much love to my homeboys Raj and Gav. No,
Testify.
We've gone 66 points since the start of the season. That's all I can add. So.
Oh, and there's just a couple of other questions I had that Jason's already read out. And there was one from Kyle Ingold asking about what the Arsenal 11 would be at the weekend, but we can't answer that because we've already asked it. So there you go, all done.
Can't we go for that again?
No. I'm done anyway. I'm a tenner lighter, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go forever. Okay, right. We're going to start to wrap this up then. And
oi.
I know. The next topic we're going to just cover quickly are our sponsorship of the Barbican Pirates. Wami Hearties. They've won 5 games this year.
Undefeated at the moment, 1 in a row.
I know, superb, isn't it? Fair play to them.
It's only their second ever season, though, isn't it?
Shut up.
Sorry.
We take the piss out of Chris mercilessly, and rightfully so. Oh, look, he pretends he's bloody Maradona, okay? He's more,
Jesus,
he's more Madonna, okay? But to be fair, they won one game season before last. They're on to 5
like a
this
virgin.
year.
Yeah, but they were in the top. Their first season, they were chucked in the top league. You don't do that. You start at the bottom.
Hey, look, I'm not going there. He was slagging off Paul Scholes this week. 11 league titles, 2 Champions League. And he's slagging him off.
Chris is still in his early 30s. He's still got time to win the quadruples.
He's got time to go to the toilet, he has, but never mind. In all fairness, the Bergkamp Pirates, it's a hard slog at grassroots football, and he puts in a lot of effort to that team. They're coming along. We sponsored them last season through having a Just Giving link on our webpage. This season, we're doing that again.
Move.
It's going live at midnight tonight. It'll be there'll be a link through our website. We'll be tweeting it from the pod account and from the Bergkamp Pirates Twitter account. And oi, I'm talking.
Oh, what? Did I not have that muted? I'm trying to take a picture of Betty. I thought I was muted. I'm very sorry.
Jesus Christ.
She moved since I took the photo.
I hope Betty's not a pet name for anything apart from a pet.
It's
cat with the injured leg. Sorry,
Sorry.
I thought I had it muted, Jace. I wasn't calling anyone here a C-word.
Get on mute.
Sorry.
Potty mouth.
Yeah. He puts a lot of effort into the Bergkamp Pirates, and the guys really do appreciate the contributions made. This year, they're doing it again. Last year, Frederick Lundberg won the, I think it was the Gibbs shirt. This year, as a prize, he has 3 match-worn jerseys from the 125th anniversary season. They are Rosicki, Mertesacker, Koscielny. There's also an Arsenal shirt book from Mr. Shakeshaft and James Elkin, who've kindly donated it to them. It'll be a minimum £2 donation, and if you do it via the it's a gift on the link on PayPal. They don't get charged for it, so that would be much appreciated. Details will be on our website and their website. For £2, you get 1 entry. If you give £5, you'll get 3 entries. If you give £10, you'll get 7 entries. First prize is going to be 2 of the jerseys, and you get your choice of jerseys. Second prize is going to be the other jersey. Third prize, the book. And then fourth prize, the booby prize, will be a Bergkamp Pirates jersey. You'll put your name on the back. You can have the home or away one. It's up to you.
Plain yellow.
Green and black and red and black. He tried to get in Arsenal colours, but apparently the rest of the boys pulled a bit of a fit on that, so they stopped him. But God knows what it's going to be next season. You know, Chris, he likes the luminous stuff. He's down with the kids. But yes, at barbicanpirates.com. Chris's Twitter handle is at AFCFreddy8. The Bergkamp Pirates Twitter handle is at Barbie, BARBI Pirates FC. Please give, if you can, don't go nuts. If it's only £2, it's £2. If you can give it 10,
Unless you want to go nuts.
Yeah.
Just,
if you
want to go nuts, go nuts.
But the people who gave them the shirts said if you eBayed those, they would possibly go for between £200 and £300 each.
Yeah, exactly. And he's looking to raise £500, to get the team off next season.
I'll chuck have a 5th prize. I'll chuck in a set of cufflinks.
Oh, superb. So there you go. There's a 5th prize from Gav. Thank you, Gav.
I don't know why he didn't bloody ask me before.
Oh, you know what he's like. He's shy. Unless he's slagging down Paul Scholes, he's not going to ask.
Because being a pirate, if he sees anything that's shiny, he goes, booty.
And by the way, if you do donate, like Raj, you have the power to sack him. We think we could get Jurgen Klopp for next season.
Mm.
It's a bigger job than Dortmund. They get 5 people there at the game. So anything you can do will be appreciated. But again, 1 entry for £2. It's a minimum £2. 3 entries for a £5, and 7 entries for £10. And we will do the draw live. The draw will go all summer up until about August, so you've got plenty of time. All your help is appreciated. Your thoughts on that? Raj, you were a big sponsor last year?
No.
No thoughts.
My
Jason's
mind was
just gone and done
I'm sorry.
an entire diatribe of wonderfulness, and then you go, no.
I'm a proud sponsor of the Bergkamp Pirates, and I will continue that in August or whenever the next season starts. So there's no issues there.
Well, they've still got a sponsorship space for the back of the shirts if you all lot want to sponsor them.
I want to sponsor one with Chris's name on the back. Tit. Do you think I've got him?
I think it was only 2 or 3 pods ago, actually, Chris was given a very good, Chris is obviously very, very knowledgeable about football, and he's very passionate, I think, and he was saying that it costs his club at least £1,200 before a ball's even kicked at the start of the season, and that's just in things like, administrative costs, and the like, yeah, precisely.
For a shit pitch.
Yeah, a shit haircut.
Now next season they're going to have to pay for every player they register. I think it's about £25 a player. It's absolute bullshit. It should all be free.
It should be, but likewise, it just highlights the importance. Anything that anyone can give, or any sponsorship money going towards the Bergkamp Pirates, I'm sure will be greatly appreciated by Chris and his guys. And he puts, we take the piss out of him daily in our WhatsApp group and on the internet. But like what we should appreciate is people like Chris who give up so much time and effort to the grassroots of football. And we really, I think a lot of people always complain that there's not enough people who try hard enough at the lower league and in the grassroots. But someone like Chris, I just want to give him a little personal shout out because he's a good guy, and he puts up with a lot of shit for some of his players turning up drunk sometimes, and he's taken some hard decisions to move it around this year. And I'll be putting some money aside as well. But anything you can give to help Chris and the lads, I think he'd really appreciate. And also good fair play to them as well for not coming bottom of the league this year. They've outperformed all of our expectations, which I think is reason enough to chuck them a few quid here and there.
Andrew, do you think that, like I say, with 2 years now he's into being a manager and an improvement on last year with regards to the amount of wins, do you think there's any chance they'll sort of rise further up the league next season?
I mean, he's coming to that, yeah. I think
it's always that tricky third season.
It's the one, and he's in there. What's his contract term? Did they give him 4 years to start with? I think the fans
week by week.
Yeah, and if he doesn't get into at least the first round of the FA Cup,
right.
the local papers will be asking.
Fife, zip it. In all seriousness, Chris, taking the mickey at the Pirates gives us a lot of time and a lot of fun. Please support them. Chris is a good guy, and he does a lot of hard work there. And the guys do appreciate it. Right, so I want to give a quick shout out to Tom Canton, who does our Instagram page, to Jeff Holifrand, who does the Bergie blogs. If you go to the website, you'll be able to link to all these pages. Please like our YouTube page. Please give us feedback on iTunes. You can say how crap I am, not a problem. These gits have nailed me today. But guys, does anybody have any shout outs? Danny?
I have one gentleman's nod to a very interesting man I was speaking to from Nicaragua, and he said that he listens on his iPhone, his iPad, and all kind of other devices. So the 5 listeners, our website registers from Nicaragua, are all probably him. So that's Gummer, who is at GUMERV. So he's a nice bloke. So go and give him a follow, or completely ignore him. It's up to you.
Raj, do you have any shout outs?
Yes, at Henry Hicks FDN. It's an apology to Jeff, really, Jeff Arsenal. We were going to mention it last week, but that's the Henry Hicks Foundation. And if you've got any spare pennies, donate to them. If you didn't know, Henry Hicks was an 18-year-old lad who died in a car in a motorbike accident last December when he was being pursued, I think, illegally by the police. And there's a whole lot going on about that and a campaign. But the parents have set up a foundation to care for bereaved parents and other good causes. So if you've got a spare pound, give it to them.
Superb. That is a worthwhile cause. You'll see plenty of posts on Twitter with celebrities and so forth back in that campaign. So please take that one seriously. Gav.
Yeah, like I say, just to follow on with what Raj said, the Henry Hicks Foundation are having a night which is free entry at the 12 Bar Club on Holloway Road. Now, that's what used to be called Fibbers. It's on Saturday, May the 9th after a game. It's from 7 p.m. till late. The Riders of the Night are playing that evening. And like I say, there'll be more details to follow, but I'm sure there'll be a few, giveaways. There'll be a bucket going around for the Henry Hicks Foundation that evening. And I'm sure other things will be planned between now and then. But if you're on Holloway Road, or indeed if you're around the Arsenal area that night, pop along. It'd be a good night, and like I say, hopefully raise a few quid for a very, very worthy cause.
Okay, superb. Well said, Gav. Mr. Fife.
First up, shout out to all the single ladies. I'm recently single. DM me. No, but seriously, I think, so my shout out actually, Bill Shankly once said, some people believe football is a matter of life and death, and he's very much disappointed with that attitude, and he can assure you that is much, much more important than that, which I think is absolute fucking bollocks. Forgive me, Raj and Gav, I'm a traitor, but my shout out this week is to the Chelsea Supporters Trust. Don't hate me, listeners, just to bear me out. This weekend, the Chelsea Supporters Trust are going to organise a protest outside Stamford Bridge before the game of Man United against the way in which the human rights violations against people who are basically being taken as slaves in Qatar, building the stadiums. And I think it's about time that we've seen in life there's things much more important than football. And people are losing their lives. They're having their passports removed. They're not being paid money. FIFA are turning a blind eye to it. Football associations are turning a blind eye to it. People like Franz Beckenbauer are completely disgracing themselves by denying it when all the evidence is there. This is a World Cup which was bought on bribery and corruption, and it now has blood on its hands. And so I think it's good to see that fans are now starting to, as we saw last week, fans used to fight each other. Now they're fighting with each other against the ills in our game. Arsenal, Liverpool against ticket prices. This week Chelsea fans are standing up for what's right, and I think it's a disgrace the way in which the World Cup in Qatar has been handled so far. And credit to the club. Obviously they're not always our favourite fans, and they're not always in the press for the right reasons, Chelsea fans. But I think it's about time that people started standing up against FIFA on this, and I fully support the work that they're doing. So that's my shout out to the Chelsea Supporters Trust. Don't at me, listeners. If you do want to find me, I'll be in the Green Man, and I'll explain to you why I've chosen this week. So and that's my shout out for this week.
Jace, could I just say a little bit on that?
Go.
I was talking to Philippe Auclair did a bit of a rant on the Guardian football podcast, and I tweeted him to say about that because he said we should all boycott the World Cup. It's an absolute disgrace. So I tweeted him a week ago saying it was a very interesting topic. He did, would you ever like to come on a podcast and talk about it, because we have no sponsors, no advertising. You can say it as it is, because like Andrew was saying, there's so much of a cover up by the whole of FIFA because it's all money and UEFA. And he said, yeah, he'd love to. So hopefully sometime soon we might have Philippe Auclair giving the actual facts of what's going on over there, because like Andrew said, it's an absolute disgrace. Not only do they not have the World Cup, but what they're doing over there and the human rights violations is fucking disgusting. So hopefully Philippe might come on here and spill everything.
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be superb. Okay, I totally back what the guys have said regarding Henry Hicks and this demonstration against the World Cup. It is horrendous what they're doing out there. But my shout out's a bit of a lighter note, and it's to Nikolai _AFC, and that's at Nikolai NicolajTheils. He's a good guy, Nikolai is. Always interacting. Give him a follow. And that's it. From us all at Bergkamp Wonderland, thank you very much for listening. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. I hope we have a cracking weekend. Let's smash Reading. Let's go on and smash Chelsea as well. Let's smash everyone. Let's have a good one. Have a good weekend, Gooners. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Nanu, pray for Betty.